Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's episode I'm going to be talking about some of the heated gear that I use on the motorbike. I've been using this gear for approximately about a year now, since last year's 2021-2022 winter. I got fed up myself of when I was touring around Japan, in the northern part of Japan, being cold, and to try and counter for the cold weather, I was wearing multiple layers on the motorbike, under my motorbike gear, which is the BMW gear. So I spoke to some various people, and some people advised me that they had some great experience with a company called Warm and Safe. Prior to committing to Warm and Safe, what I did do is I went and did my research here locally on the Japanese market. There's a motorbike shop quite close to me. It's called Ricoland, and they had on display various of the domestic manufacturers that you could buy heated gear that was battery charged. So I looked at that as well, and I looked at how long the batteries would last. And it looked like, back in when I was doing those motorbike rides, I was probably sometimes on the motorbike between 10 to 12 hours a day. I would need multiple batteries to be able to keep me warm throughout such an extensive ride. That just looked a little bit ridiculous as well. It all looked like it was very well manufactured. The finishing was great, but still, it was going to be like probably close to $1,000 that I would have to spend for the multiple batteries, like I said, to keep me warm throughout the ride. So then I did go and commit to Warm and Safe. I feel it's a fantastic company because it's been manufactured by a motorbike rider himself, Mike Cohen. And he built this company based upon the fact of when he was touring between Germany and France. He was way up in the mountains back in the 90s. He was extremely cold, and probably in the same situation as myself when I was in the northern part of Japan, where you've got multiple layers on, and it just doesn't cut it. Eventually the cold just gets you, and there's no way to prevent you. You've got to stop, heat up, have a cup of coffee, which is not a bad idea, but still, we all prefer it to be heated throughout our motorbike rides. So I wanted to show you all the jacket that I have committed to, which is the Generation 4 jacket, the heated jacket. Again, here you can see there is the logo for Warm and Safe. And when I received this jacket, I don't know if this was shipped from the US or it came from Japan, but I got it quite soon. I already felt the material was fantastic. I was really impressed. It's got a nice lining on the top to keep your neck nice and warm. You can obviously feel the elements throughout the jacket. You can also feel obviously the cables that are running through this jacket. The design comes to credit to Mike's wife. She used to be a professional garment designer at Nike. You can really feel it. There's a lot of thought gone into the design of this jacket. I must say, I do not always turn the jacket on. This also is great for wind blocking at the same time as well. So at times I probably don't plug it in. I've just got it under my BMW jacket. It already keeps me nice and warm. When you're at temperatures where, in the morning it's kind of chilly, but it doesn't really justify you turning the jacket on, I will wear this jacket under my BMW motorbike apparel, as mentioned, and it blocks the wind on my chest, and it keeps me nice and warm. So very, very impressive. This jacket. So let me just put the jacket on. You can see it covers nicely in my neck here. And yeah, it feels very, very comfortable. I never notice really that I'm wearing this jacket under my motorbike apparel. And then on the sleeves here, you've got then the cables to connect you to the gloves. Now I also have committed to the gloves of Warm and Safe as well. And on the left hand side here, you then have the cable. And the cable is then obviously to plug into the motorbike. Which is then connected to the motorbike's battery. What I've gone and done is I have also procured the extra cable, the 60 centimeters extension cable for myself, because often throughout my rides I probably like to stand as I'm recording for my YouTube channel, and therefore the cable that comes from the jacket, that would be too short for me to be able to stand. So let me just give you an example as I get up on the motorbike here. So if I would then be connected to the motorbike with the jacket and then standing, that would not reach to the cable. There is enough cable there, but I've basically just wrapped it up nicely to have at least amount of cable coming from the battery. That's my choice. That's how I wanted to configure it. So as you can see, and then in the event then I want to go and sit down again, typically what I do is I will just lay the cable in front of me. So I have also bought into the heat troller. So what we have done here is we have fitted nicely the troller on top of that ETC bracket, which is available on Amazon, and then via double-sided Velcro tape have we then connected one side to the troller and one side to the ETC bracket, and then that just stays here on my motorbike continuously. And then I've also got the piece of string which is then connected to the back of the controller, wrapped around this bracket from ETC to ensure it does not get lost or does not fly off. Now, the whole reason for me making this video is throughout the videos that I've been publishing from my YouTube channel, people have been asking me, Arch, what is that device you have connected or mounted on your handlebars there? And I explained this is the heat roller to be able to control my my heated wear that I have from Warm and Safe. So that has been sitting there, guys, the entire year, all the way through my off-roads and on-road sessions that I've had throughout the year, not budged, not moved a single time at all. So, you know, this is a great way for me to be able to easily adjust. Some people have it either, you know, located in here, or they'll have it in a pocket, need to take it out and so forth. I think this is a fantastic solution. You know, this was advised to me by a friend who has the same heated gear as myself as well. So I would highly recommend that you do that as well. So it's important when you put on your motorbike jacket, as I've made the mistake myself often enough, more than once. When you put your jacket on, you hold on to these leads because they will curl up down your sleeve and you won't be able to reach them, right? So, and let me get my jacket. And just take them through, right? So I've got them through, and then zip up my jacket. Boom, there you go. Now, next thing I do is obviously I plug the gloves in. So I plug in both sides. And what I've learnt from experience myself, and it's a tip I have from an elderly gentleman who's ridden motorbikes for 30 or 40, maybe 50 years he's ridden them. He says it's good to keep this part on top of the glove, vice versa. I found myself, you know, really trying to tighten this down and put the glove over it. No, he said that's not the way you should do it, Arch. You should just put the glove on, right? No matter which glove it is, right? And then he's taught me is then what you do is you nicely tug it in and then you secure it. I don't feel any wind coming up my sleeves that gets me cold whatsoever. I just always make sure that this cable is on top of my wrist, then I don't have any issues. And the same goes for the right one as well. Put that one on as well. Cable is there. Boom. Right, so the cable is there, and I've got it nice and light. I do not get cold, guys. I hear a lot of people complaining about, the cold on the motorbike. There is no reason to suffer. It is an investment, and I will go through how much it cost me, this investment, but it far outweighs the pain and the trouble of being cold on the motorbike, because for me, it was unbearable. I don't like cold weather. I hate cold weather. So I have no longer ever struggled since I've had this gear, and I've been wearing it. So I highly recommend, you getting yourself, whichever brand it is, some heated gear for sure. Then you can ride the entire year. I ride the entire year on my motorbike, and this is one of the reasons I do, because I've got this weather protective gear that I've invested in. I've ridden, I think the coldest I've ridden is maybe -8 Celsius I've ridden. I was perfectly fine in this gear. It kept me nice and warm. And I don't think I've ever put it to the max. I've usually got it probably at 22 on the clock, the dial knob. I've never had the need for it to go full-blown cooking me. I did by accident once. I bumped the switch and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I noticed it was full open. I immediately dialed it down. That's how warm that this gets, right? Let me talk a little bit more in detail about the jacket itself. Now, the jacket itself consists of 7 heat panels. It covers the chest area, the lower abdomen part. It covers also your arms. It covers the neck area, and on the back of the jacket, does it also provide you with heat on the higher end of your back and the lower end of your back. This jacket, on the left pocket, this is where the magic happens. This is where it has the wireless controller, which is connected to the heat troller, which is mounted, in my case, is mounted on my handlebars. Now, as you're dialing through and you're setting the adjustment of the heat of your jacket that you would like, or the gloves that you would like, it's sending the signal to this wireless controller, and then we have then color-coded within the jacket, red it being for the jacket itself, and then on the inside, yellow, you can see here, is the cable which would then control the heat to your gloves. This cable then runs through the inside of the jacket, comes down separately for the left and for the right, down into the cables, which are nicely tucked away here, but then would then be connected to your glove on the left-hand side as well. As mentioned earlier in the video, let me just share how much I paid for the Warm and Safe gear that I'm currently using. So I paid $10.95 for the short splitter cable, and then for the extension cable, which is 60 centimeter cable, I paid $12.95. For the gloves, I paid $169.95, and then for the jacket, which is a Generation 4 men's jacket, I paid $249.95. And then for the dual remote control, which is the heat roll, $149.95. Comes to a total of $654.45. This also included the $60 for shipping. This marks the end of my video, and I hope you all appreciated and enjoyed watching this video. See you on the next episode, guys. Thanks very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe.